race. Scott is from a mostly suburban district outside of Atlanta, but has been a strong supporter of peanuts and other commodities. He would be the first black chairman of the committee if he is chosen. Ohio Representative Marcy Fudge also has been mentioned as a possible candidate.
Whether at your local green market, corner grocery store, or neighborhood restaurant, you're supporting your community when you buy local.
Food grown right here by Florida farmers doesn't need to be shipped as far.
That saves fuel and cuts emissions.
Buying local is more than just supporting area businesses and growers.
It's buying fresh, wholesome, and delicious food for your family.
Products you trust from people you trust.
Fresh from Florida.
Good for the environment.
Good for the economy.
Good for you.
Well, peanut producers have until September the 30th to update their price loss coverage program yields on the crops that have a base. Payments were made in October for last year. The program has already recorded the first 2 months of the price that farmers received on peanuts in shell bases. The average price for August was reported at .206 or $412 per ton. The September average price was .205, $410 per ton. So the prices are staying low, and PLC payments will be made next October. I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be sunny and pleasant with a high of 77 to 81, then clear skies tonight, low 53 to 64. Wednesday will be sunny to partly cloudy with a high of 73 to 76. Partly sunny skies Thursday, high on Thursday 74 to 77. Mostly sunny on Friday, high 79 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Finally, shipping made easy. Just Ship is your answer to your shipping aggravation. They come pick up your package and ship it for you. Birthday gifts, eBay sales, or an online return. Just Ship can handle all of them for you. Act now and you can save 20% on an annual subscription, which will take you through the 2020 holiday months. Go to www.justship.net now and take the aggravation out of shipping. Wait, turn the mic on. In the Garden with Carol Ann. As every Tuesday, as we do here, Carol Ann Baldwin, Master Gardener, joins us. It's in the garden, not...
it's in the garden, not you've got a garden.
You've got a garden. It used to be you've got a garden.
It used to be you've got a garden.
And now that you've got a garden, we're going to put you in the garden.
We'll put you in the garden. You
with
come
Carol
in.
Ann.
Yeah, I mean, we used to party. We used to also have the garden party.
Yeah.
It just depends on how we change the theme
Let's
songs.
give somebody credit for that theme song. That may be one of the best opening theme songs I've ever heard.
We had to redo my theme song a couple of years back. I had Garden Party was Ricky Nelson's song, which is a great song there, too. But then we had to change theme songs, and I asked a friend of mine, Stan Spencer, to come up with a theme song for me. So he took and went in studio and took that first part of the Inagata Davida and reworked it. It is not truly Inagata Davida.
It is not.
It's off. It sounds very much like it, but he went in and redid it, and of course, obviously redid the lyrics,
right?
And made it my song.
Great job.
Yeah,
Great
it's
job.
like how many other people can say they have a theme song?
Yeah, one of my favorite scenes in the movie, and I don't know if you've seen it or not. Yeah. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, which was a movie that had Bernie Casey in it, and Keenan Ivory Wayans, the Wayans brothers. Okay. It was a spoof on. They had gangsters and they wouldn't OD. Oh. They wouldn't overdose. They would OG. They would over gold, and they'd have so much gold on that it would make them collapse when they couldn't move, and they would die.
They would because they couldn't move. Right. Yeah.
And Keenan Ivory Wayans was a guy that was a detective in the movie trying to figure out who was causing all these over golds.
Right.
And Bernie Casey come up, and he was the old guy, and he goes, yeah, you doing this and that. And he goes, so he's got this band walking with him. He came to Ivory Way and goes, why do you have this full blues band walking behind you all the time? Bernie Casey goes, theme music. Every good hero should have some.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. See there.
So you're a gardening superhero.
I'm a hero, yeah.
Gardening hero.
Just don't wear a cape. I just have dirty fingernails. Yeah, that's all.
So anything changed with you over the last week?
Just that it got chilly out there.
It did get cold.
It's downright chilly.
So I want to ask you this question because it's all over Facebook now.
Right.
Thanks to my wonderful girlfriend showing that we planted.
That you got a couple citrus trees.
We got a couple citrus put in, and they put in yesterday.
Okay.
When it was nice and warm. Mm-hmm. This morning, those citrus trees woke up to a little brisk air. Is that going to harm them that they just got put in the ground?
No. Actually, with it cooler, it's actually a little better. Because it's not quite as stressful to them. We're not real windy. We got a little bit of a breeze, which can be a little drying. Just make sure they stay watered. That's the biggest thing is, with any transplant.
I got a 3-gallon bucket.
Okay.
They said, they built the little trenches around it. They said, take that bucket, fill it up.
Yep.
Pour the entire bucket in there, let it soak in.
Yep.
Fill it up again, do it again.
Yep. And
do that twice a day.
Yeah.
And that's for the first 30 days.
For the first,
And then the next 30 days, do it once a day.
Right. Yeah, and then by that time, and even then that first year, offering some supplemental water.
My sprinklers aren't enough.
Irrigation systems are not enough. People don't understand that. I have a lot of course, now we're at the beginning of our cooler weather when our snowbirds come down. But at the end of the season, I have folks that are still trying to put some stuff into their landscape and going, well, yeah, I'm leaving in about 3 weeks. And going, do you have someone who can come and water? Well, my irrigation will be honest. And yeah, that's not going to survive. You're just putting it in. It needs extra that first, at least 30 to 60 days.
Now, I know the first 30 to 60 days, the sprinkler system is not enough at all.
Right.
Is the irrigation system ever going to be enough?
Yeah, it will. Yes, it will.
Once they mature a little.
Once you get past that, usually the first year is their most susceptible, their biggest time, and with citrus, they don't like wet feet. They don't want their root systems to stay wet, so that's why they thrive in our sandy soils. So we don't really bulk that soil up too much. We may put a bag of compost in when we're planting, but not usually anything super heavy duty because they don't like, and we don't mulch them.
No,
because
we were told do not mulch.
We don't want that top part because they're not real deeply rooted. Their roots aren't, like a pine tree, as high as it is, as low as far down as it goes. So you don't want that to stay moist right there. You want that to go ahead and dry. And I know people think, well, that doesn't make much sense. Well, that's what they like. Doesn't matter if it doesn't make a lot of sense to you. That's just what they like. And don't go ahead and fertilize them. I'd wait to fertilize till after the first of the year, and then.
Well, we were told yesterday to get citrus fertilizer and do it somewhere around March or April.
Yeah. I usually say March, June, and September.
Right. And then they have assured us that if we take care of it properly and it takes the way it should, next December and January, we should see fruit on these trees.
Yeah, but most growers
I thought it would take 2 or 3 years.
Well, most growers will tell you don't let them hold that first fruit that first year. That it will bloom.
Pluck the blooms off.
Yeah, well, no, let the blooms be. Go ahead and let the pollinators enjoy it. Enjoy the fragrance. I mean, nothing better. But should it manage to hold on to a few fruit, they usually tell you to, especially if it's a larger quantity, take them off. Once they're there, you might let 1 or 2 ripen, but because you want that tree to make roots, not fruits. The first year, second year, usually by the third year, you're doing pretty decent on quantity of fruit you're getting. But that first year, if you manage to keep any fruit, don't let it hold too many, just because it does tax the tree.
Certainly, 622-9622 is the number to call if you got any questions for Carol Ann Baldwin, Master Gardener. In the garden with Carol Ann Baldwin. So now that this cold snap's happened, and it's going to be here for the next couple of days, they say it won't warm back up till Friday or Saturday.
Yeah.
What are some of the things, once this cold snap passes and it warms back up, are there certain things I need to do to my garden or anything?
No, it's just we're coming into that time of year that it's actually This is actually, I think, a little cooler than what is seasonal.
Well, it's 2020. Imagine that. It not being normal.
Yeah, I know. With another tropical storm trying to form down in the Caribbean.
You said 2 weeks ago that 2020 is probably going to be a harsh winter because it fits with 2020.
What 2020 is going to be. And I mean, this here, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, our high is on the low end or actually below what would be normal at this time. I mean, Wednesday it says a high is 67.
Yeah, Wednesday's supposed to be 67.
And I think
mid to low 70s or high 60s.
Right. And then by the weekend we're up to the 81, 79, 81 kind of thing, which is seasonal.
Right.
For us for this time of year. I know it seems a little strange that, as we go into Thanksgiving. What do we have for Thanksgiving this year? They're showing about 79 with a low of 62, so it should be a gorgeous day.
Last year for
partly sunny. So actually, if you're having a group, it sounds like it's good enough. If you are concerned, put the picnic tables out.
That's what we did. That's what
we've always done.
Thanksgiving last year was outdoors.
Yeah, we always used to do that. Even when it started out, the morning would be 40 degrees when I would be putting the turkey on the grill. Yeah, the house is hot, or from cooking, there's not enough room, this and that. So go ahead, put the meal outside. The football game's going inside. When you're done, you can go in, you can go watch. Do we have football?
Football game inside. Let me tell you.
I mean, if you've got TV
I got
screens
the TVs outside.
Okay, I know friends that got TVs outside too. You can do that nowadays.
We're having people over for Thanksgiving. My sister's coming from
much
Callahan.
more if you're entertaining outside.
We're on the lanai.
Yeah.
We're outside of the lanai. We don't get bothered by the bugs, but you still get the coolness of the air.
Get the ceiling fans turning a little bit, keep the air circulating, and you're doing well. I mean, that's one thing that we are blessed here with everything with the COVID and the concern on large gatherings and people stretch it outside. Why does everybody got to sit in that? Why does everybody got to be in the kitchen? Yeah, get out of my kitchen.
No, see, I do the cooking.
Yeah. So it's get out of my kitchen.
You got to get out of my kitchen.
Yeah, get out of my kitchen, get out of my way.
Now, my girlfriend says she's cooking the turkey, which is okay with me because I don't like turkey.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, un-American. I don't like turkey. By the way, Benjamin Franklin thought it should have been the national bird.
Yeah.
But I don't care for turkey. It's too dry a meat for me. But I love ham.
There you go.
So we're cooking a ham, we're cooking
and
a turkey.
Yeah.
Something else we're not having. It's almost started an argument in our house.
Not having green bean casserole.
We are not. Who in the hell wants green beans mixed with breadcrumbs and cream of mushroom soup with the little fried onions on top?
You got the onion crunchies. We always have it, but nowadays it's my daughter makes it, and she gets to take the leftovers home.
Yeah, because you're not.
I'm not going to fit. I'm not going to. Yeah, you eat them. You love it. See, I'd rather do a different vegetable casserole. Yeah.
We're doing green beans.
Okay, but just plain green beans. Yeah.
We're putting some
little
green beans in a pot
on it. Yeah.
We're getting some ham hock to put in there, get a little ham flavor in it. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Still having the green beans.
Just not having the mushroom soup.
Just not with cream of mushroom soup.
You got gravy if you need to. You got gravy you can pour all over it.
100% if you want that. 100%.
I mean, isn't that what that's why you have a big gravy ladle. It's put everything on the plate and put gravy over the whole thing.
We need to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to ask you about what some good flowers are to find to put on tables.
Oh, okay.
When you have celebrations.
Okay.
Because right now during the holiday season, centerpieces are really big.
Sure.
And a live centerpiece
is nice. Yeah.
Is really nice.
Yeah.
We'll talk with Carol Ann Baldwin more after this time out. You listen to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. Brick City Creative Group is your one-stop multimedia destination. With the experience our team has, not many can really tell a story like we do. Specializing in live broadcasting, promo reels, film, and social media. No matter the story, we've got you covered with some of the best professionals in the industry. Your story is our mission. Find us on the web at brickcitycreativegroup.com or on Facebook at Brick City Creatives.
Oh, hey, Grandpa. Oh, hey, Grandpa. Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, buddy?
Can you take me fishing this weekend?
I'd love to. Have you noticed a change in your hearing over the years? Missing the little things in life? Visit Beneficial Hearing in Ocala today. Their expert team of audiologists will make sure you never miss a moment. Call Beneficial Hearing today at 352-629-4418 or visit them online, beneficialhearing.com.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
Embrace Magazine is boldly uniting lifestyles as the first ever and only gay magazine in North Central Florida, based right here in Ocala. Recently honored with 14 awards from the Florida Press Club, our mission is to unite the gay and straight communities through exceptional content appealing to all. Hi, I'm John Sotomayor, publisher and executive editor. Tune in to our radio show on Wednesday, November 25th at 10:30 a.m. here on WOCA. To read our digital issues, the premiere issue, and the newly published Heroes issue, follow us on Facebook and visit our website at embracemagazine.us.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named, the man, the myth, the only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back on a Tuesday morning to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. It is In the Garden with Carol Ann Baldwin, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. When you earn the designation Master Gardener, you better get that in there every time. You've earned that, so you might as well. People might as well refer to you as that. Well, you've earned it.
It is. It's not just a name I pulled out of the air.
Like I'm a master radio host just because I pulled that right out of my rear end.
That's it, yeah.
You actually
we
have
took the training. Yep.
You did the classes and everything to become a master gardener.
That's it, yeah.
Let's talk about centerpieces for tables.
Yeah, we're here at our fall holiday dinners.
People get cut flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they get the dyed carnations and people dye orange. And those are nice.
They're pretty. They're pretty.
But a living centerpiece that you can then plant in your garden or something, to me, makes all the sense in the world. What are some of the better living type centerpiece plants?
Most people think about mums, chrysanthemums. In Florida, the landscape chrysanthemum that we grow is much smaller. It's a much littler flower than what you might have seen in northern gardens. It's just because this is what's hardy for us.
Right.
It's the variety that does well for us. Finding them in the big box stores right now might be a little difficult, only for the sake that they come in, and they're coming in as landscape plants.
Right.
So you may have to you may find them in more of the florist areas of some of your supermarkets and things like that, where it's a smaller pot.
Right.
Or like the peelies have the larger, what do they call it, point peely. I always called that one the garnet and gold. Flower, because it had a lot of the red and the yellow in that more daisy looking bloom, and those are a florist quality. You enjoy them all through the season, but realize if you try to plant that out in the landscape later on, it's just not going to be a hardy landscape chrysanthemum. It is more of a florist type chrysanthemum.
What about, somebody asked me earlier I was asked to ask you this question by a friend of mine that said, because she likes live, she gets a live Christmas tree every year and plants it in her yard.
Right.
She's got, that's her back privacy fence now.
It's
Christmas
all
trees.
The Christmas trees.
She's got 21 Christmas trees across her backyard.
Nice.
That's her, in
There
front
you
of the
go.
chain link. That's her privacy fence. She has heard there's such a thing as a fall sunflower.
There is. It's not a true sunflower. There is. It's the Mexican sunflower. The real tall. There's a couple of different ones. There's the Mexican sunflower. There's the tree marigold, and these are all fall blooming, bright yellow, great plants.
Because that would look good on a table, but they're big.
But they're big. Yeah, you'd be cutting those.
Right.
You would be cutting those and bringing them in. And we have a lot of things we can do like that. I mean, and make small arrangements. You can even go and find, if you find the little teeny pumpkins and do your cornucopia with that, and is it politically correct to say Indian corn?
Maize.
Maize. The shiny gem corns that are there for the fall holidays and that, and do yourself a cornucopia and put a few blooms in with that, and then just make your centerpieces that way. It's, a lot of times you put that centerpiece on and it's like, ooh, the table's all set, and it's like, get that out of the way. We need room for turkey.
That happens a lot.
Yeah. So you might think of your plants that you actually would put by the front door in your large planters, and those would be your mums going in there.
Those fall sunflowers,
the fall sunflowers, they would look good as
at the front porch.
At the front porch, but they get big.
Right.
They are very large.
And then are they something that you can replant once they survive Florida summers?
They sure do. They sure do. Put them where they've got room, because they do get pretty large, and they are great attractors to wildlife and butterflies and different things like to come by and visit. So you're giving that late fall visitor a chance, for some little more nutrition when we're constantly out there planting milkweeds and things like that, and we're extending the time that these butterflies and other insects are visiting our areas. We're not necessarily benefiting them that much, because usually they would be doing their migratory processes or going into their own dormancies.
Got a text on my phone from somebody that sent me, a person listening, friend of mine sent me, that says, last week y'all talked about sticker bushes and all that can be placed around the bottom of a fence to keep animals in.
Right.
Will bamboo work the same way?
Bamboo gets very thick, very dense. Yeah, you're probably not going to get through that once you get a nice stand of it. Problem with bamboo is once you plant it, you can't get rid of it.
You got to dig it up. You got to get the bulb out of the ground.
And that's a massive root system. And you don't want to plant a runner. Otherwise, your neighbors will hate you. You'll hate yourself, because it will come up in other locations, because it will do just as its name. It will run. The clumping ones get larger and larger and larger, but still, to try to control their size, you're digging underground, getting that Sawzall in there to cut those and remove root in order to keep those within a certain area. Or
sounds
to be
like
able
it's more of a pain in the neck than it would be.
They can be. I mean, if you have, say, a corner or an area, I would put some type of barrier underground, whether or not you get some valley metal, roofing metal, and bury that as an edging underground to where you've got a couple feet, and then plant behind there, and that way it should not come across in an area. It shouldn't. I won't say it won't, but it should.
But as dense as bamboo is, I would think it'd be a good fencing system.
It would.
But it can get, I know bamboo can get out of control, especially in Florida.
Yeah, it can, because it has, we don't keep, nothing slows down that much here.
No.
It does slow in the winter. Once we cool things, I always call this a semi-dormant season. We don't do a full dormancy, except for very, very few items will go fully dormant. But that semi-dormancy doesn't slow it down much. It just lets it rest a little bit so that it can come back with a full vengeance on you and keep growing. But I mean, bamboo's great. There are a lot of different varieties. Before I would do a fence row, I would do a lot of research.
And it grows really, there's a type of bamboo that is the fastest growing plant in the world.
Oh, yeah.
It grows 12 to 16 inches in 24 hours.
Yeah, in a day. Yes.
Yeah, they used it in the death camps in Korea to try to get people to tell them what they wanted. They put them in these cages, and the bamboo would grow so fast it would grow through their feet. And
right, yeah.
It would grow through their feet.
Yeah, because you couldn't keep moving. Yeah.
Right. Couldn't move. Bamboo grow right through your feet.
Yeah.
And they'd sharpen the bamboo at the bottom, and it would grow 16 inches in a 24-hour period.
Right, and
bamboo's a hardy. It'll grow.
It'll grow, and there's a lot of different varieties. There are some that are smaller than others that are, I'd say, more easily contained or tamed. So if you were going to do a fence of it, do some research. Make sure, I'm sure there's some of them that don't do well here, so make sure that when you're researching it, if it says Zone 9, that it's truly a Florida Zone 9, not a California Zone 9, because it is a totally different climate.
What is the difference between Zone 9 in California and Zone 9 in Florida? Would you say
we have it's that whole, the amount of moisture in like spring and winter. Yeah, California's been on fire. Yeah,
because they don't get water
rain.
like we do.
They don't get the rains like we do.
We're subtropical, almost tropical.
Right. Right. You get more to the tropical once you get down to Miami and the Keys area, that you're definitely, I would say, tropical. With us, we're subtropical. Where they're not. They actually have a lot more desert climate. And so it's a drier Mediterranean climate is more of theirs. I mean, we're beginning.
Olives, grapes.
We're growing more olives here now. We're looking at this in Florida as a substitution to the citrus industry because of citrus greening. But the grapes we grow are more of the muscadine varieties. There's not a lot of table grape that is grown here in Florida. There's some, but again, it's breeding. It's breeding so that they can handle our wet, humid, excessive rains in the summers. I mean, this is the dry season.
Right. This is the dry season now. And it rained a bunch.
It hasn't been.
I mean, in the summers, we know it's like a sauna.
Yeah, exactly. Our humidity being 85%, 90% is nothing in the summer. What do I gotta? I mean, we're 62% humidity.
But it's a great day right now.
I did. Well, 44% I think was this morning.
Think about that.
Yeah.
We're happy. 62% of the air is saturated with water, and we're okay with that.
We're okay.
Because that's better than 95%.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And that's, it feels great out there, actually. It's a beautiful day. Enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah, people forget California's a third of California is a desert.
And then you have mountains.
Yeah.
But even Texas. I mean, if you look at the map, you find us on a map, find them on a map.
We're farther south.
We are further south than any of those. And so it's the amount of, what gets us the zone 9 is the amount of days above a certain temperature.
Right.
Well, that doesn't mean that they don't count the moisture in. So when you're looking for seed, when you're looking for plants that you're going to order online, realize that moisture's a big issue. And
we'll be back with Carol Ann Baldwin in the garden. I want to ask her how many people make the difference between technology and the printed knowledge. We'll do that next, right here on WOCA 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
A historically
this holiday season will...
USA Radio News with Dan Naraki.
Drug maker Moderna announced on Monday that early data from trials on its coronavirus vaccine shows it's nearly 95% effective at stopping infections. The news comes after Pfizer and BioNTech announced last week that their vaccine was 90% effective. Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar tells Fox News that thanks to President Trump's Operation Warp Speed, some Americans will be able to be vaccinated starting in December.
This is the vaccine that President Trump partnered with Moderna on January 13th at our NIH labs, and now over 90% effective vaccine in one of the largest clinical trials ever. So now we have Pfizer, we have Moderna, and thanks to President Trump's vision, we've been making both of those and 4 other vaccines at commercial scale production. So we believe we'll have enough for 20 million Americans to get vaccinated in December.
This is USA Radio News.
Working from home? I'm Chad Dodd, veterinarian and consultant to Limp Bells. Here are some tips for keeping your dog fit while staying at home. Find 15 minutes twice a day and walk your pet at a decent pace around your place. Play hide and seek by hiding some kibble or favorite toys and letting your dog find them. If you have stairs and your dog is mobile, walk up and down twice a day for 5 to 10 minutes. Or better yet, try a power walk on your terrace or backyard for some fresh air. There are more helpful pet care tips at youmove.com, spelled youmove.com.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines. 800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. And I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever.
Right now, MyPillow has a special offer for you. 2 MyPillow premiums for one low price plus free shipping. Each pillow is made in the USA and is machine washable and dryable. Call 800-820-7056 or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Annie to get 2 MyPillow premiums for one low price plus free shipping. That's 800-820-7056 or go to MyPillow.com, promo code Annie.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Promo code Annie.
This is the time of year to count our blessings and to give thanks. And at Palm Garden, we're thankful for a lot. We're thankful to work in a place that shows such kindness and caring to people who need our services. We're thankful for the opportunity to learn life stories and celebrate them. Most of all, we're thankful for our precious guests and residents. Unique, different, special, elite. We are Palm Garden.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new truck.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Welcome back to In the Garden with Carol Ann on Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. Let's go right out to the phone lines. Hi, caller. Who's this?
Good morning, everybody. Hugh calling in.
Hey, Hugh. How are you?
Pretty good. They had the furnace on, the heat on for the first time, and of course, the first time we always got that funny smell in the house. But it's the start of that kind of season, I guess.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Of course, you're only going to need it on for about 10 minutes. Take the chill out of the house and turn it back off because I'm sure it's getting nice out.
Right. See, the reason I called is my mother-in-law. She every Christmas time she always has a poinsettia in the house, and this last summer she adopted a cat for the companionship. You know. Sure. And I have heard in the past that plant can be dangerous to make some animals sick. Is there any truth to that?
If they were to really do some serious consumption of it, yes, but they'd have to eat a lot of it, and it's not palatable enough for them to eat, a considerable amount. If they took off a little nibble and tried, because it has that milky sap, so it doesn't necessarily taste that good to them. That's what most people are sensitive to, and I mean people included. They always said, poinsettias are toxic. Well, not really. It's people with sensitivity to latex are going to have a sensitivity to that white milky sap. Any plant with a white milky sap, they can have a sensitivity to. And any of the rest of us might too.
I see now, like at Walmart, that the poinsettias are out, and they look very nice. And that would it be a little bit too early to buy one? You might be better off waiting till a little closer to Christmas.
No, you can take care of it a lot better than they can or we can in a big box store, because you figure we get shipped in, thousands of them. Thousands of them. I think my first delivery the other day was probably about 350 plants.
And you have to take care of those.
And we have to take care of those and keep them going. So the best thing, because they're not going to lose that color. That color is just the leaf changing in contract to go with the seasons. With that, when the shorter days is when that leaf begins to color up. The flower is the little teeny thing in between all of those, and so I wouldn't worry in the least about taking that home, taking care of it. Put it in a nice bright area. Don't put it out where it's going to get a lot of wind, and or out in the pouring rain, especially if they're in the little foil wrapper. When you water it, you might take it out of the foil, set it in the sink, water it well, let it drain, set it back in your foil wrapper, put it back on the table or on the front porch, however wherever it is you like to have them. And after mid-March, you can plant them in the garden.
Yeah. Is there anything you can add to the water that would help the plant, stay healthier?
You may occasionally give it a little bit of Miracle-Gro kind of stuff, just a little liquid fertilizer, because it is a rooted plant. It's not a cut flower, so maybe once a month or so, put a little weak Miracle-Gro in there, because you don't really want it to force it to grow right now. It's a slow season for them as well. It is the winter time; things are a little more dormant. So I would go real weak, like if you mixed up your gallon of Miracle-Gro, cut that in half. Again, and give them a little of that maybe once a month, but not a bunch of fertilizer at this moment, because you're not looking for them to grow. You just want them to stay a little happy. Bright room, plenty of morning sun. If they're in front of a window, I'd still have a sheer or something like that, because the sun that comes through a window can be pretty harsh on any plant. And just enjoy them through the holidays. But no, you can care for them a lot better than what they can in the stores, especially rotation that they get a little beat up.
Thanks for the call, Hugh. We appreciate it, buddy.
Okay, thank you, and enjoy the cool weather.
All right, you too.
People say they turn their heat on. I never do it.
No,
I go the entire winter without ever turning the heat on. I put on sweatpants, socks, and a sweatshirt if it's a little chilly in the house. I got one of those heated mattress covers.
Oh, there you go.
So I can get in the bed with the heated mattress cover. I see no reason in Florida. It's almost like I have cousins that live in upstate New York.
Right.
They got no air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
They live up in the Adirondacks. They got no air conditioning.
They have no need for it.
They got no need for it. I live in Central Florida. I got no need for heat.
I need my heat. But then again, I work outside.
Right, I don't.
So, yeah,
I don't.
And that.
Let's talk for a minute about technology.
Yeah.
Or the lack thereof.
Okay.
Because I know now with technological advances that, you can get a spreadsheet and computers and weather reports and accurate radar and everything.
Right.
And it's pretty accurate now. It's not like back in the day when, a weatherman, you would chide a weatherman. Boy, I wish I could find a job paid $100,000 a year to be right 20% of the time.
To be wrong half the time. On that, yeah.
So, but now they're a lot better with weather and everything.
That's true. Technology is advanced. Yeah.
But I have a friend who his granddad is a peanut farmer, been a peanut farmer all his life.
Does the almanac.
He gets that book out he gets his almanac. Mm-hmm. I'm sure I hadn't talked to him this year, but I'm sure he's got the 2021
I'm sure. Yeah,
almanac.
I looked and I said, well, mine's sitting at home because I do have one as well.
Is the almanac still, with all the technology and all going around and the ways you can do it, is the almanac still widely used by farmers and planters?
I think it is, especially farmers and planters. And not just the almanac that you can purchase, but they take a combination and take their knowledge, put it into their own computer and spreadsheet.
Make their
and
own
the rest
almanac.
make their own almanac of what did I do last year? When did I do this? What was the weather? What was things? So keeping a garden journal, working in conjunction with, okay, what is the temperatures? What are we looking at? First expected frost dates, last expected frost dates. A lot of people use the almanac based upon the moon sign planting dates.
Right.
And some people swear by that. That's the only time they'll plant. They'll go by the lunar calendar, and have never had it go wrong for them. If that's what works for you, that's how you do. That's how you do. The big thing I always figure with us here in Central Florida, and that a lot of folks are not from here, or the only gardening they ever did was elsewhere.
They need to know patterns.
They need to learn, and they need to learn what goes on here. So that almanac may help with that, as well as taking some of that technology. So a combination of all of it, and then keeping your own journal of what did you plant when, in conjunction with and keeping that journal gives you your own thing going.
Sorry, caller, call back. We were talking about almanacs. It can get a little.
You know me. I run my mouth.
Much,
let it ring. Let it ring.
Yeah. Here we go. Hi, caller. Who's this?
Morning.
Good morning. Hello, caller.
Can you hear me?
Yes, there you are. Can you hear?
You're cutting out bad out here. I'm out in West Ocala. You're going on and off the air.
Good.
Well, we can hear you fine. What's your question, sir?
Okay, if you can hear me, I'll ask you and then hang up so I can hear you on the radio.
Sure.
Listen, you were talking about bamboo growing fast. Is there anything that grows faster and will make it through the winter? Like if you wanted to cover an 8-foot slotted fence that your landlord put up so you can't see the sunset anymore. I'm PO'd. What can I plant that grows fast?
Okay.
Thank you for the call.
I'll go ahead and answer off the air so that, because your phone line is having a problem. So looking for something that's going to grow fast, I guess, to cover up that fence. Sounds like it's a wood slat fence kind of thing. I mean, you could easily paint that and make it just look nice. Have somebody come through and paint a mural, then you'd have something pretty to look at.
Paint a sunset on the mural.
Paint a sunset on the mural. But you could do, put some. I would figure you'd need to put a few little hooks on it. You do, if you're looking for a vine, it would be Confederate jasmine. That way, in the summer, you get the fragrance. I mean,
and it
grows really fast, and it's evergreen.
How fast would red tip shrubs grow?
The red tip photinia, pretty good. I mean,
you probably have to buy 6-foot tall ones to make any difference.
You would, yeah. I think anything, if you buy in something that you're going to be able to dig the hole with, you're looking at 2-gallon to 5-gallon, and it's going to take a couple years because they're going to start out and they're going to put the root system down before they really start doing. But what do you call it? Podocarpus goes up pretty quickly. That's a pretty fast growing evergreen. It's like in the yew family, but it's one that's for Florida. Cold hardy, not a problem.
Do you have another question, caller?
Yes.
Turn your radio down for me, please.
Hang on a minute. I'm working on it. I can't hear you on the radio. I mean, on the phone. You can hear me now, I assume.
Yes.
Hey, those nice things that grow and grow fast on my part of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to go down the way a little bit and I wanted to tick him off, how fast does kudzu grow? And when would I plant that?
Well, it grows very, very fast, very, very fast, very illegal to plant.
Yeah,
it's
really illegal to plant.
It is illegal to allow it to grow, and even air potato, you're not, that's the one we have in this area more. You're not really supposed to let that, don't plant that.
It would piss off your neighbor.
Yeah. But the thing is,
Florida Fish and Wildlife too.
Mm-hmm, you'd have a hard time. If you really wanted something, get you it's an old Florida rose. It's a fence rose. Cherokee rose.
Yeah, they run like vines too.
And you get within 6 feet and they reach out and just grab you. They have a mind of their own. And those can be, gorgeous when they're blooming.
But they can grab you.
They can reach out and touch you. Yes, they can. We had one, I don't know how old it was. It went up a ligustrum tree and hung over the garage roof.
And would grab you when you come out of the garage.
No, it was when you walked around the back of the house.
Oh.
When you walked behind the garage, you'd be moaning, ow, and I'm nowhere near you. How did you find me?
Because it
can. It hurt the mower. It hurt the mower, and it's but you could only see it blooming coming in the driveway because it hung down on top of that garage roof. But it was just fantastic.
But
it was
do
beautiful.
not plant kudzu.
No. I understand. I'm sure you were joking, but yes, that's one of that and air potato are one of those things you're not allowed to plant, and you could be.
People say, but I see it everywhere. How'd it get there?
Yeah.
Well, nobody planted it.
It was originally imported in like the 1918, 1920.
Right.
Because before we knew better.
Right.
And now it's everywhere. Yeah, it is.
And the only way to literally get rid of it is to get the bulbs out of the ground.
Yeah. And
the easiest way
is with a hog.
With a hog.
Yeah.
I did it in North Carolina, cleared 11.5 acres with a hog.
Yep.
Because it's a delicacy to them. The bulb is a delicacy.
That's for the kudzu. The air potato, there is a beetle that we've brought in, and that's all it eats is the air potato, and I think it will attack sweet potato also. But
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's okay with me
I
too.
hate sweet potatoes, so
I'm
not
a big sweet potato fan either, unless it's in pie form.
Nope.
Yeah.
Don't even like sweet potato pie. I don't like anything yam or sweet potato. Because my mom made it every week.
That was
the side. Here's how gross it was.
Yeah.
It was the side. It was every Thursday night. Because remember back when we were kids, you had planned meals. Every Thursday night. Liver and onions and yams or sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
There's nothing about that sounds good.
No.
The only good thing about that entire thing was the onions.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, well, the onion, maybe the gravy.
The gravy.
Yeah,
but the liver and the sweet potatoes.
My mom loved her liver and onions, but when we kids didn't like it, it was like, okay, I'm not wasting it. This is mine. You guys can have chicken. Yeah, and we're like, okay.
My mom didn't do that. My mom was like, you're not leaving the table till it's done.
Well, but mom just wouldn't fix it. She would fix that for her and dad.
Oh.
And you got the rest of the meal, but you got the leftover chicken or the leftover meatloaf or whatever.
If my mom had done that, I'd just ate hot dogs all my life. What do you want for dinner tonight?
Hot dogs.
That's the thing.
Hot dogs and macaroni and cheese.
What do you want for dinner tonight? Hot dogs and macaroni and cheese. 100%. 100%.
And today it's chicken nuggets, nuggets and French fries.
Chicken nuggets and French fries. But you bring up a good point though that sometimes people don't know what they can or cannot plant legally.
Right. And it is. There is a list of noxious weeds in Florida, and they were imported way back when, before modern technology, before modern knowledge of invasive species. I mean, we have tropical plants, or what we call exotics, that are easily maintained, easily controlled. They do not cause an economic impact in the state of Florida. But then there are other things like air potato, kudzu, Kogan grass. Trying to think of some of the truly other ones that are still on a list. But those three there, we did bring them in with good purpose in mind. But now it's something we can't get rid of because
it's like milfoil in lakes.
Yeah,
milfoil in lakes were originally thought that it would be good for lakes to bring in a grass that would help.
Well, help to keep.
But it's killing everything.
Right, because it outcompetes. Brazilian pepper. Down and Melaleuca. Melaleuca was planted in the Everglades to dry it up.
Right, to dry out the Everglades.
To dry up the Everglades so that it could be developed. Mm-hmm. And then we learned that wasn't a good idea.
Kind of like the cross barge canal.
Right, the cross barge.
About halfway through, somebody realized, hey, this might not be a good idea.
Yeah.
Cutting the state of Florida in the aquifer in half.
Yeah, that we have an aquifer that runs under there, and we didn't know about it until that this was something that was going to be an issue. But with those kind of things, Yeah, we brought in Kogan grass as fodder, cattle fodder. Same thing, and erosion control. And come to find out, you can't get rid of it. No. And very, very, very difficult.
Speaking of water, we brought up the Cross Barge Canal and the aquifer. Speaking of water, is there a difference from me using, like where I live, where we live in the subdivision we live, everybody has wells. Sure. Is there a difference between me using my well water as opposed to somebody on the city water and they're using city water? Is my water better? Is their water better? Is there a difference?
I too have a well. I love my well water. It has a lot of calcium in it, but I love my well water, and no, I don't have a softener or anything else on it. So my water's not hurting anything. If I was in a big agricultural type thing, maybe I may have to have something that might counter some of that lime in there and that calcium in there. But for the household use, for watering your plants and things like that, it's fine and dandy. City water and such like that, or city water is going to have some chlorine in it.
Right, bleach.
Bleach. Well, chlorine, like swimming pool and this and that. So if you're watering your plants with it, you might want to fill a jug and let it sit overnight and let that dissipate out. Same way you would for an aquarium. You don't just pour tap water in your aquarium and hope Goldie doesn't float up belly up.
You set it on the counter, let it sit out
on
overnight.
the counter overnight and then water. If you have a softener system, don't water your plants with it because you're putting salt in your house.
Yeah, see, our softener system is in the garage, so all the outside water is still well water.
Right.
And then the house
water is what has the softener system to it. So, so if you're going to water some houseplants, you'll go outside, fill up your jug outside, fill up the bucket outside, or better yet, stick a bucket out when we're going to rain, collect you some up, use your rainwater, because we all know rainwater is what makes everything grow.
Exactly.
And and you can do that. Yeah, and you figure a little 5-gallon bucket or a couple of them out there. You could put a lid on it so you're not going to get mosquitoes and things in it after the fact. Use that for a few days, dump it out. So you've got fresh rain
served
barrels.
us for thousands of years.
Yeah, exactly. That's what nature waters most. All your pastures. Most of those are not irrigated. And so your cattle and horse industry and now free range chickens or whatever, they're out there on rain-watered fields.
I saw somebody the other day do something I hadn't seen in a very long time.
Okay.
And their grass had died. It was all yellow. Okay. I don't know how it was so yellow.
Okay.
But their grass was yellow. I was up in the Jacksonville area. Their grass was yellow. And they were doing something I hadn't seen done in a very long time. It used to, when I was a kid, it used to happen all the time.
Okay.
They were setting their yard on fire.
Oh.
They were burning the grass off.
Wow.
And I hadn't seen that done in a very long time.
That in...
And that's very old school to do that.
Yeah. Doesn't
that destroy your lawn? Wouldn't you have to replant
You
that?
would have to replant it, and it could be that that's what they were getting ready to do. But usually,
I would just rip it up, the topsoil up,
either
hair it under.
Either that, or go through and maybe they didn't want to chemically do it.
Right.
With something like a glyphosate or another
just
product.
Got a hand tiller and tilt the front yard up.
But you're still gonna have those weeds underneath there, or possibly insect issues, disease issues. Fire's gonna burn that stuff off the top. It's also putting that ash back there. I'd be probably bringing some type of compost, or the only reason I say don't do topsoil. Topsoil is not necessarily screened for weeds. So you might be trying to kill off weeds, bring in 5 yards of topsoil and throw some more weeds. Throw some more weeds right back on the lawn. So, on that kind of thing. Yeah, I had not, especially not a lawn. I mean, I've seen fields burnt off.
Oh, I've seen fields burnt off much, but he was burning, and it was a brown yard. Okay. It was probably about 3-4 inches high.
Okay. They were probably looking to get rid of, a lot of noxious different things.
He had the little gas can.
It was burn the whole thing off.
I mean, I used to see people do that in Georgia.
Right.
All the time. But they did it with hay fields, or they would do it with wheat fields.
Right. Big fields where you're
corn,
burning.
Soybean. Cane.
Sugar cane, they do all the time on that. But,
I hadn't seen it done in a front yard.
No.
And this guy was doing it in the front yard. It just...
Wow. I know you can get the little torch that you can go there's the weeds, and they're gone. You just fried
Just
that
seems
thing.
strange to me.
Yeah,
It may have been just a yard full of weeds, and so he let them all die down or something. He may have sprayed them to kill the yard
and then
burn it
burning off what's left of it.
I didn't stop masking, but it was just... It was something very strange to see it in a residential front yard without somebody calling the fire department or the police or something and said, hey, there's some nutbag out here setting his yard on fire.
Yeah, or that there's not somebody else standing out there on the sidewalk with the hose ready to go and, just in
here's
case.
this nutbag.
But if all the neighbors are all
somebody
green,
was out there with the hose ready to go. But usually you see something like that, somebody's calling the police. Hey, there's a nutbag out here setting his yard on fire.
He waited till they were all at work.
It wasn't. It was like 11 o'clock. It was about 11:30. It was on the weekend. About 11:30 in the morning.
Okay, so that is definitely different. But at this time of year, most all the yards are green anyway, and so he was rejuvenating, and maybe that is still an acceptable method. I just wouldn't have thought it was.
I bet
a burn permit.
I bet though you could, just from the questions that you get on a daily basis, could write a book on some of the more stranger things that you hear or people say about gardening.
Yeah.
And this is weird. To set your grass on fire is weird.
That's a
but it's probably not the weirdest thing you've ever heard.
No, it is. It's up there. It is up there on that. On wondering, how to.
But you deal with people that have no knowledge, all the way to people who think they're master gardeners.
Right. And exactly that. Yeah, that they've. I've been doing this for I don't know how many years, but I mean there's some
You've
very
been doing it wrong for 25 years. Is what I'm telling you.
Or at least you did it. That might have been right in Wisconsin.
Right.
You come down here, it's not exactly the same way, or it's a different.
And I bet that is a problem. People still want to do and care for their plants in Florida the same way they do on the front porch in Wisconsin.
Right. And I do have a lot of people that go, I'm from here, I've been here, and I keep making all these mistakes. I said, well, forget what you knew there and tune into some, go to the University of Florida website, look up, there's some fantastic publications and books. I mean, actually regular softback books on gardening in Florida, on perennials in Florida, on hosting butterflies in Florida.
Plenty of information.
Lots and lots of great books, great illustrations, great photographs in them. We're coming up in the holiday season. You've got a friend, a neighbor who's new in the area who's trying to do a garden. Look them up. They are available at the Barnes & Nobles. They're available on Amazon. They're available at the Florida Bookstore.
We have 10 seconds. Tell people where you're available out on Facebook.
I'm available in the garden group on Facebook. Look up In the Garden. We are on a Ocala page. Just ask to join, and you can find me. If you really got to find me in person, I work at Lowe's and Lady Lake. They're on 441.
Carol Ann Baldwin, In the Garden. Talk to you next week.
Yep.
The Paddock Mall Studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370.